Hello! It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm working on 20 hours of sleep. So I'm going to try and get this done sooner rather than later. Even though I'm exhausted, I've got to change the back. Amazing. Hello. It's 2:30. I'm running 20 hours of sleep. But I know if I don't do this now, I'm going to forget to do it for a week. And then it's my fault. I've just finished watching Strange New Worlds, and New Civilisations. Because that's not a difficult mouthful to say in one go. The season finale and an episode that was written as a series finale before 2 more seasons got commissioned, and then in a way kind of feels like a Star Trek finale in that it has this kind of big emotional climax which explores something to do with really the Captain's character, but also stands very much as its own kind of like isolated episode, which is the kind of traditional Star Trek format really to end something unless DS9 or post Enterprise shows. And it kind of hits those boxes, and it is a fairly well put together episode, and it does invoke a bunch of emotional feels in me. But I think it is ultimately more one of the big issues of the entire season is look, I'm fine with how new Star Trek does things like Discovery and Picard, because I accept that TV has changed since even the mid 2000s, never mind the 80s and 90s, and we tell stories differently now, and TV is different now. TV used to work better episodic in a time when you'd sit down and watch an episode when you caught it on TV, and the seasons were longer as well, so not everything necessarily mattered. Whereas when you've got more limited seasons that are now streamed, and people are watching them on a more regular, committed basis, you kind of want to have that more cohesive narrative. And people being like, "Oh, I wish Star Trek was not having this massive arc, it's episodic," but it's not what you want. And this is why you don't want it, because then you feel like you're missing something. What you feel like you're missing here is that kind of growth. Ortega's growth kind of skipped. Marie, that name was in my brain. 2 seconds ago. Come on, Marie, Captain Patel. Disappeared for a whole bunch of time. Arguably got more character development than Ortega's did actually. Have we really explored how Pike reacts to knowing his future? Because he keeps getting brought up as his main kind of thing. But does that mindset ever actually get challenged or changed? Not really. And this is probably do the most with it. This episode also feels very kind of classic Trek in that it evokes a lot of how TNG does a lot of things. I mean, there's obviously a clear inspiration from the Inner Light in the whole flash forward to the life scene at the end. I did actually like that. It was very self-gratuitous. It was so solution apparently to defeating the big villain was a power of love. And that's that for me is a very weak ending, but it was executed very well. I do like that this captain who is aware of the destiny of their fate, and this other captain who is now propelled by his fate get to have this experience of what their life would be otherwise if this didn't happen, as a kind of final gift to themselves. And that also then plays into that felt like a very emotional, cathartic way to kind of tie it all together, even if actually in essence there's not much substance to it. So I did like that. It did remind me a lot of the Family of Blood, the Doctor Who, something kind of similar happens there as well. In that Doctor like gets strength, or rather Johnson gets strength from the illusion of what the future might be. Obviously, it's not exactly the same thing, but this episode plays a lot of like time and like fate and back and forth and stuff, and Theo can end up being what it means to you now, and that's obviously a lot of kind of all good things. Tackles that as well. So it feels very kind of like TNG in that kind of regard. I just, I think a good example of this actually is the Kirk Spock thing, because I can imagine the writers realizing this might be the last episode, realizing they haven't quite done what I assume was on their checklist, which is establish a good Kirk Spock relationship, and they kind of started like tying that what with Kirk and Spock having the meeting in I think season 2 or something. Yeah, it would have been season 2. And then obviously this season when Spock was effectively elected as captain when he was Captain Farragut. And then they're like, oh, we were going to do more with that, and we now will get the chance to. So let's like kind of cheat and in essence have them mind meld so they can speed run this intimacy. And it's a very kind of like it's very meta scene, the whole sense of they're making jokes about having a date and stuff, and like I think it's with their eyebrow. It's obviously like a reference to kind of slashing. But obviously now we're gonna have like 2 more seasons of this show? Which is actually kind of a lot for a show which is considered to be like running out. For them to explore the and I assume they will. So yeah, like it was a good solid episode. Don't know if I'm mixed if it was a good season finale or not. It was, I think, even for me, very ridiculous whole it was ridiculous the whole concept of I know how to I'm the chosen one to defeat this enemy because I have this random mixture of DNA from aliens who happen to have a historic aminosity with this alien species, and it's all kind of just like unlocked this special power in me. I'm like, this is pushing it for even Star Trek ridiculousness, but I guess it's not. Like, if this was like the ending of a classic Star Trek episode, I would probably be like, yeah, this is kind of the right level of Star Trek weirdness that you kind of get. So I can't be too mad on that front. Or mad at all, really. Don't like Igor. Please let's last eight. Less Igor. Why was it the thing? Yeah, it's not bad. I can't fault it. It's not like the most spectacular Strange New World episode, but I think that's true of most Strange New World. Actually, I do like the way that Pike kind of like words now, but I felt his monologue at the end sort of the bow on kind of like themes that were being explored, such as they were about really loss, absence, and destiny, which I think were kind of somewhat the themes of this series in, or at least some of the themes anyway. I haven't got role to play, but choosing Kirk. It's weird. It's like it's also structuring as well, because like Kirk's just the first officer of the Farragut, and yet you wouldn't think there was any other members of the crew on that ship. I mean, the captain like didn't even get a single line. Like, why were they speaking with Kirk? Why not the captain? Like, why? Other than the fact that we know his character. Did you just don't want to pay her that week? What was going on there? Yeah, I do think the resolution was a bit too easy. I didn't feel a huge amount of like threat from the episode. it didn't feel like it was gonna like. I don't know. Some parts it felt like big and exciting and very dramatic and like a lot of stakes. I think it's because we knew there's gonna be a sacrifice and obviously we were losing my talented character. But outside of that, I kind of felt the same level of stakes. I think I maybe possibly should have felt. Yeah, definitely. Those will be reactions. Maybe I'll reflect it when I sleep. I'm probably gonna do a video tomorrow because I'm gonna go see it later today. Because I'm gonna go see Warhorse Theatre and I might do a live reaction to a theatre play, which I've not done this channel, I don't think before. But I'm excited to see Warhorse. So I guess I might come back from after that, do a reaction video on Warhorse and I might have some extra parts. This is great. I probably could go to sleep. So if you have watched this, thank you. Now, get out.